Louisiana already has the second highest population of detained immigrants in the country. Immigration advocates are concerned that the increased focus will lead to racial profiling, human rights abuses, and push detention centers over their capacity.
Congressman Troy Carter led a delegation of members of the House and Senate on a fact-finding visit to two Louisiana U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention centers, one in Geaux and the other in Basile.
We merely wanted to go on a fact-finding mission to explore and to see what was going on at the facility and to ensure that the opportunity for the First Amendment and the Fifth Amendment to be recognized, the First Amendment being the importance of free speech. The Fifth Amendment is making sure that people have due process, both of which we were woefully disappointed in its lack thereof.
Louisiana is home to the second largest immigration detention population in the country, outranked only by Texas. Across the state, 9 immigration detention centers are in operation. 8 are owned and operated by private companies.
Some private entity can charge the federal government upwards of $100 per day, and many of them have been there 8, 9, 10 months. These hearings should happen quickly. Either a person is going to be deported or released or some remedial measure. But to keep them for 8, 9, 10 months, it is a for-profit entity that's holding people and making money by filling the cots in these facilities.
In Louisiana, the oversight and licensing of ICE detention centers fall under federal jurisdiction. These facilities are managed through contracts between ICE and private companies.
So there's a huge profit motive to bring folks into the state.
Executive Director of the Louisiana ACLU, Alana Odoms, joined Congressman Carter on his visit to 2 ICE detention centers, both owned and operated by the Geaux Group.
I have to say that the detention centers are almost identical to a regular prison that you would think about for incarcerated people who've committed crimes. It's really unbelievable. And I say that for 2 reasons. One is because the purpose of immigrant detention is to ensure that people are housed in a place that is habitable and comfortable while they're waiting for their administrative proceedings to go through. There is nothing further from that setting, a comfortable setting, a habitable setting.
The Louisiana ACLU issued a report, Inside the Black Hole, detailing widespread human rights abuses in many of these detention centers.
One of the main issues that we find with people who are incarcerated in these ICE detention facilities is that their basic human needs are really not being met. And so not being provided with medical care is a huge problem in these particular facilities. And then I think the other thing is just with regard to due process, there are very few spaces in these facilities for secure legal visits.
So our wellness visit turned out to be a good moment to determine that while the place was clean and appeared to be fit for humans, there were things that were done that were not fit for humans. We later also found out that basic things like providing feminine products, toilet paper, was not always readily available, and oftentimes they went days without these basic provisions.
According to the Geaux Group website, the Central Louisiana ICE Processing Center in Geaux received a reaccreditation score of 99.6% in 2018 by the American Correctional Association. The South ICE Processing Center in Basile, also operated by the Geaux Group, does not list an accreditation score. LPB reached out to the Geaux Group for a response to the report's findings and comments from Congressman Carter and the Louisiana ACLU Executive Director. As of press time, we have not received a response.
So sending them somewhere where they're almost doomed to spend a long time, weeks, months, at the tune of $100+ a day, that goes to this privately, and I underscore, privately run institution, a penal institution for fee or profit. So you send a person kind of in a way of saying, we're going to really punish you. We're going to send you far away, back into the boonies deep in Louisiana.
Inside the Black Hole Report cites that Louisiana's immigration population began to surge in 2017 after criminal justice reforms reduced prison populations.
We did a huge package of criminal legal reform, over 10 pieces of legislation that lowered our overall incarceration rates by about 20%. That resulted in about 4,000 or 4,500 beds being opened. And that's when we saw a lot of folks coming into the state of Louisiana by way of their asylum proceedings and being housed in these facilities.
Immigration rights advocates expressed concerns over Governor Jeff Landry's launch of Operation Geaux, empowering Louisiana's law enforcement agencies to enforce federal immigration laws. The governor says of his executive order, quote, "We are ushering in a new age in America and Louisiana, one where law and order is the expectation, not the exception, where our communities and families are protected and criminals are rejected," end quote. Immigration rights advocates say more Louisiana arrests will push Louisiana's ICE detention centers to maximum capacity.